The easiest person to manipulate is the one whose emotions are easy to predict. Most men don't even realize they're exposing their biggest weaknesses every single day, not through their words, but through their reactions. That's why the strongest people in the room are rarely the loudest or the most aggressive. They're the ones nobody can read. Think about the people you respect the most. They don't panic under pressure. They don't lose control when they're challenged. The less predictable their emotions become, the more control they have over every situation. Every emotional reaction reveals something about you. Anger tells people exactly how to provoke you. Fear tells them exactly where to control you. The moment people understand your emotional patterns, they know exactly how to influence your decisions. Real power isn't about hiding your emotions. It's about choosing when they're worth showing. The people who master this don't just control themselves, they naturally control the room. If you want to become someone who can't be manipulated, someone people naturally respect, master one skill above everything else: emotional silence. Every emotional reaction tells people something about you. Anger shows them how to provoke you. Fear shows them exactly where to apply pressure. Even excitement can reveal what you want more than your words ever will. Most people walk through life with their emotions completely exposed, while confident people keep their cards close to their chest. Imagine two people receiving the exact same criticism. The first one reacts immediately. His voice gets louder, he starts defending himself, and within seconds, everyone knows exactly how to get under his skin. The second person pauses for a moment, makes calm eye contact, gives a slight smile, and continues the conversation like nothing happened. Which one actually looks powerful? The difference isn't confidence, it's emotional discipline. Strong people don't let their first impulse control their behavior. They understand that their first reaction is emotional, but their second reaction is a choice, and that choice is what defines them. Here's something professional negotiators and elite leaders understand. Never make an important decision while you're emotionally triggered. When you're angry, scared, or frustrated, your brain isn't searching for the best solution. It's searching for the fastest escape from discomfort. That's why a few seconds of patience can save you from mistakes you'll regret for years. There's another reason this works. The less predictable your reactions become, the less control other people have over you. When someone can't figure out what you're thinking or how you'll respond, they become more cautious. Uncertainty shifts the balance of power in your favor without you saying a single word. And here's the part most people never think about. People rarely remember how emotional you felt in a moment, they remember how you behaved. One emotional outburst can destroy years of credibility, but one calm response can completely change the way people see you. So from this moment on, most people don't choose their reactions. They simply react. One insult, one moment of pressure, one unexpected challenge, and they're already speaking before they've even had time to think. But mentally strong people have a different habit. They create a small gap between what happens and how they respond. Sometimes just 1 second of silence is the difference between making a smart decision and making one you'll regret for years. The next time someone tries to provoke you, don't rush to answer. Lower your voice instead of raising it. Slow your movements instead of becoming restless. Hold steady eye contact, take one calm breath, and then respond. The calmer you remain, the more emotional the other person becomes. And that's when something interesting happens. The person who was trying to control your emotions slowly begins losing control of their own, simply because you refuse to play the game they expected. Psychologists call this emotional contagion. Human beings naturally mirror the emotional state of the person they're interacting with. When you become angry, tension spreads through the conversation. But when you stay calm, people unconsciously begin adjusting to your emotional state, or they become uncomfortable because their attempts to provoke you no longer work. That's why calmness isn't just a personality trait, it's a form of influence. People are naturally cautious around what they can't predict. When nobody knows what you're thinking or how you're going to react, they become far more careful around you. This doesn't mean pretending to be emotionless. It means choosing when to reveal your emotions, instead of letting your emotions reveal you. Picture a room full of chaos. Everyone is talking over each other, moving quickly, and reacting to the pressure. Then there's one person standing still, breathing normally, making steady eye contact, and speaking slowly. Without asking for attention, everyone begins looking at him. Calmness under pressure creates authority without ever demanding it. Most people believe confidence comes from speaking louder, moving faster, or trying to dominate the room. But real confidence works differently. It doesn't chase attention, it attracts it. The less you try to prove your strength, the more people begin assuming it's already there. Here's something most people never notice. Human beings instinctively search for patterns to predict other people's behavior. The moment they can predict you, they feel comfortable around you. But when they can't figure you out, their brain automatically pays more attention. Mystery creates focus. That doesn't mean becoming cold or distant. It means becoming intentional. Speak when your words add value. Stay silent when they don't. Show emotion when it serves a purpose, not simply because you feel it in the moment. The fewer emotional clues you give away, the more people start filling in the blanks themselves. And surprisingly, they often imagine you to be more confident, more capable, and more powerful than you ever needed to prove. From now on, stop trying to impress people with constant action or endless words. Let your composure do the talking, because the people who are hardest to read are often the people nobody wants to underestimate.
Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of power. Most people talk because they want to be noticed. Strong people stay quiet because they're paying attention. While everyone else is busy proving themselves, they're collecting information that nobody else even realizes they're giving away. Think about the last conversation you had. Who learned more? The person who spent the entire time talking, or the person who spent most of the time listening? Every question you ask reveals curiosity. Every unnecessary sentence reveals emotion. But silence reveals almost nothing. Here's something experienced negotiators understand. The moment you stop rushing to fill every silence, the other person almost always starts talking. People are naturally uncomfortable with silence. They'll explain more than they plan to, reveal details they never intended to share, or even negotiate against themselves just to break the tension. That's why silence isn't passive. It's strategic. It gives you time to think while encouraging the other person to keep revealing information. The less you say, the more clearly you begin to see what's really happening. There's another advantage. When you speak less, your words become more valuable. People stop expecting constant opinions from you, which means they pay closer attention the moment you finally decide to speak. Your voice carries more weight, simply because it isn't always available.
Power isn't about controlling other people. It's about controlling yourself first. The moment you stop reacting to everything around you, you stop giving other people control over your life. You begin thinking more clearly, speaking more intentionally, and moving through the world with a quiet confidence that doesn't need anyone's approval. Remember this: the strongest people aren't the ones who always have the perfect answer. They're the ones who stay calm when everyone else loses control. Master your emotions. Protect your peace. Let your actions